Low key, ladies, we have it easy as fuck. I just took my husband on a trip for his birthday. And I'm like, damn, this is what a man has to go through. Like, literally, this is what a man has to go through. So, what really pissed me off was the end of the story. So, listen, I paid for flights, I paid for room, I paid for dinner, I paid for jet skis, I paid for video after jet skis, I paid for massages Saturday and Sunday. We did go out to the club. We went out with a couple, and I paid $175 for the booth and a bottle, which we split it in half. I paid for dinner. I paid for his haircut. And the main thing that pissed me off was when we got back home, I had to pay for parking. Blew me the fuck, like blew me, took me the fuck away. Like, I have to pay for parking? Oh my fucking God. Now I'm even more irritated. Damn, my gas light goes off. Oh my fucking God. Like, we do not take in accountability all the shit men be having to do, because I just be sitting there like, la-di-da-di-da. Bro, I would hate to be a man. Like, I would literally die if I was a man.
Hey, number one, shout out to the content creator. We've been saying it. And this is what, a lot of young ladies, a lot of older women still don't understand to this day. It takes a lot to be a man. I know that some of us can kind of make it seem like it's easy in the sense of like we don't show a lot of emotion behind it, right? But it takes a lot. It takes a lot, especially when you're dating. And I want to say this before I kind of deep dive into it, but this is why a lot of men are starting to back away and pull away from the dating game, because they're looking at it as far as, hey, I'm pouring into, a young lady or multiple women, and I'm kind of fishing, but I'm not getting any bites, or they're playing and it's kind of me wasting money, right? And shout out to her, because she actually has a man that she's doing something for, which I think is commendable, because a lot of women don't. But she's starting to see, hey, this is what it really takes. And for a long time, women were just on the receiving end, and it's only for or it seems like it's only for the men that they like, that they're willing to do this for, because they find them as someone who's special to them, or that they really love, or they really desire. And it's just good for her to be enlightened, but also for her to share for other women to be enlightened as well. Like, hey, don't take it so lightly when men go out their way to do a lot of things for you guys. As she said, hey, she had to plan it. And then when she planned it, she started to see how all the money started to add up. And that was just to get there, right? It takes a lot of money to get there. And then you there, it takes a lot of money when you there and you spend it. And even when you getting back, she like, damn, I still had to pay for parking. And her gas lights on E. I mean, if she had money to pay for all this, I'm thinking she just, I don't think that she went over her budget like that, as far as, doing all this and didn't have money for gas. But I think she's just looking at it as in the totality, like, hey, I spent all this money, I still got to put gas in my tank. So that's what I say, man. Us men, even let's take even before you actually start being in a serious relationship. When a man has to go, like he's out there fishing, right? He's out there hunting to get a date, to, try to create a relationship with a girlfriend, even before you get to marriage, right? You have to understand, like, a man has to do so much to be and spend a lot of money, especially back in the day, right? You would spend a lot of money on an outfit, right? You gassing up the tank, you washing the car, then you still got to drive there. And when you get there, it's like, you already kind of on edge. You don't really, a lot of men, they have game. So it's like when you do get the courage to be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? You may buy a girl a drink. She may not even appreciate it. And we've seen it where, they'll just take the drink, give it to somebody else, give it a homegirl, or they'll drink it and don't give you no attention. And again, that's not to say that they have to, right? But it would just be nice if you accept the drink or something like that, that you at least give the man some attention, and just at least to fill him out, to get a chance to know him. But a lot of women just brush him off like it ain't nothing. And so that's a lot of money even before you get to the club. And then we get to the club, and then you may say, all right, well, hey, I bought this one lady a drink. That's a fail. Let me go buy another girl. And that started to add up, right? Okay, shoot, let's say you actually get one and you start to date. Think about this, just like it seems like a birthday trip or a vacation trip that a young lady took her man on. So just imagine on a regular date, you know, especially if you don't have a quote unquote girl who just kind of like normal, where she okay with going to Longhorn, she okay to going to, you know, a nice burger spot or something like that. You know, there are women out there who won't take less nothing than like a Nobu. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know, everybody have their standards, but man, you know, when you start to look at all the money that men are spending, I get why they like, yo, I'm about to get out the game. You know, because I think that it used to be a lot more grace how women kind of like went about, you know, dealing with men. And we've started to see it now over and over that a lot of women just, again, they doing it for just, they just doing it for the tricks. You know what I mean? They just doing it to have fun. They don't care how you feel. But that's where we are now. You can't complain about it. You know, that's just what's going on. But men are figuring out, okay, I'm not going to spend all this money. You know, let's do a coffee date. You know, you want to do a coffee date? Then that's letting me know, hey, you're not looking to get to know me. You know, you're looking to just, you know, either get a lunch off me, a dinner off me, just a quick date, just to be intention. They're not doing all that right away like they used to. You know, they want to know like, hey, get to know me first. Let's do something small, something simple. Let's do something free. You know, maybe something under $20. You know, that's not gonna break my pockets, like going to do a full out, you know, dinner where we got to get dressed up. I got to buy a fit or, you know, have something nice on to try to impress. Like, let's just get to know each other. And I think that's important because at the same time, that kind of vets, you know, the young lady, and nobody wastes their time, and dudes not wasting their money. We all know things are getting tighter. You know, people losing their jobs. You know, money's inflation is going up. The cost of living is going up. Like groceries, gas, everything's going up. So men don't have time to play, man, and to just be blowing all this money on dates that may not turn into nothing, right? So all that to say, I appreciate the young lady becoming conscious to say, wow, you know, I spent all this money. I still had to pay for the, you know, for the parking ticket when I get back. And so this just let you know that hopefully this message get out to a lot of different women to just enlighten them, man, that, hey, you know, dudes are really out here, you know, going a long way when it comes to trying to impress, you know, really trying to invest in women. And, you know, I just think women should appreciate it more. That's all. I think that's really it. And just, you know, listen, I know it's if you can get a guy to do it and he pay for it, but it's like, man, at this point, you know, at least try to respect it, you know, that the money that he's spending. Right. If they're gonna spend it, they're gonna spend it regardless. But I'm saying, like, try to just be more aware, like, to be conscious that, hey, you know, if he gonna spend all this money, he really is trying to invest in me versus, you know, just a one and done type date. So anyway, with that being said, I appreciate her sharing her thoughts. Shout out to the content creator. Hey, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video if anybody needs to hear this message. Somebody need to hear this message, trust me. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.